This is Charleston's retirement coach, Brandon Bowen.
And I'm Heather Branch here asking Brandon for his insight on ways to better prepare for your financial future. BowenWealth.com is where you can begin your own conversation with Brandon about your retirement savings plan. We also have links posted in the show notes, so you can just click there or, again, find us anytime at BowenWealth.com. All right. I know you love golf. I know you love college football. Have we talked that much about, do you have any kind of love or following for stand-up comedy at all?
I do, yes. Yeah. I would say I'm kind of newish into the space.
Okay.
You know,
yeah.
Like I'm starting to appreciate it more and more.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's the algorithms are showing them to me more.
I will say, and between Netflix specials and the ability to digest information on social media, comedians definitely have had more of a rise in popularity over the past couple of decades than they had seen before. One of the oldies but goodies, comedian Ron White. I love him. He's just this old Southern guy, and he gets up there in his black suit looking like Johnny Cash with his bourbon and cigar wherever he goes.
Does he drink still?
I don't know if he had to give it up.
I think he did.
He maybe did.
He's lost a lot of weight. Good.
He's what's funny is that he retired. He called it quits. He said he's coming off the road, and here he is. I think that for a comedian, there's only so long you can go without having a live audience in front of you.
For sure.
But he's back on the road 2 years after saying that he had retired, and he's already complaining about something that we all gripe about, talking, of course, about taxes.
I owe the IRS a bunch of money because I don't understand how that works. It's confusing. When I started doing stand-up, they said that made me an independent contractor, and they said I needed to start filing my taxes quarterly, which I thought meant every 25 years. My brain won't wrap itself around that complicated, man. I have attention deficit disorder. I have learning disabilities. I don't have a high school diploma. I'm smart, but you can't prove it on paper.
God bless Ron White, because here's the thing. When it comes to the tax code, here's what's really the thing. This is what gets me. Is the government not supposed to be protecting the American public? Didn't we vote them into office to help? And here we are. It's like they want us to be confused.
Yeah. I think we've played another piece of audio where it's like, no, you got to tell us what you think.
And if you get it was another comedian, and he was talking about, and if you get it wrong, then what? You're going to jail.
Going to jail.
What?
Like, wait a minute. Like, it's a multitude of answers we could give them.
Seriously.
And it's like,
the tax code alone.
Yes.
So, and that's something that we start, from the very first job we get. It's like the tax game is on. God bless every single one of us and the challenges we've endured with the tax code. Now, we get to our retirement years, and here comes the government with more confusion throwing at us. We are entitled to our Social Security, Brandon. All we want in life is the income that we have paid into the system. We want to get it back out. And again, we have talked about this on the radio program, how confusing it is to claim Social Security. You've told me, I've learned from you, there are hundreds of ways to file for Social Security.
Yes. 678 ways to file and over 2,000 rules to keep in mind.
Fantastic.
I mean, it's crazy.
The motleyfool.com was talking about, they pointed out here, I wanted to talk to you about this article, that there's 3 lesser known rules that apply to our Social Security filing. So let's talk about those and then what else you see us missing and how we can do better.
Yeah. I like this article. Even some of these rules, let me get into it because one's a little misleading. The first one says you can undo your filing once in your lifetime.
Okay.
You can undo your choices once in your lifetime. Okay. Yes, you can do that. There is a do-over provision. A certain form allows you to do that.
Okay.
But it's got to be done within the first year.
Okay. So you can't just undo it whenever. You can't be 90 years old and thinking, well, I messed it up at 65, so let me fix it.
Yes. Well, and let me tell you a quick story. So I've got some clients that came in. She was a homemaker, didn't work outside of the house. She started her lower benefit there. Then they came into the office. This was about a year and a half after that point.
Yeah.
And he was about to start his. He was the breadwinner. It was about to be a $3,000 monthly benefit.
Okay.
And once I saw this, I just leaned back in my chair because I had some bad news to tell him, right? And that was, she can't do the do-over because it's been longer than a year. I was like, oh my gosh, they didn't know about the spousal benefit there.
And so she was getting much less than she should have gotten, but there was no be able to.
I mean, it was almost $1,500 that they missed out on per month.
Per month for the rest of her life.
It was
That's devastating.
I mean, yeah. So So that's crazy.
Okay.
So yes, you
All
can do a do-over, but it's got to be within that
12
first year.
months. All right. Okay.
Okay. Speaking of spousal benefit, the next one was if you're married, you can't claim a spousal benefit until your spouse files.
Okay.
That is true. That is true. You cannot go you can't say, I'm going to go ahead and start my spousal benefit. If your spouse has not filed for theirs and come out of the shadows and say, here I am, start my benefit, that opens up the ability to pull a spousal benefit. Okay.
Got it.
So that's true. You got to know, how you want to file. Do you want to file based on your own earnings, or is it better to file a spousal benefit? And I can help you determine that.
Okay.
What about divorced? Okay. Here's an interesting thing. So if you're divorced, though, you can start a divorce benefit, even though your ex-spouse has not started theirs.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
This is kind of cool. What if, they're off living their other life, their next life, right? And you guys aren't a team anymore, right? But you want to start a divorced benefit, you can do that.
Okay. Got it.
And here's a freebie. So let's say you're married for 10 years or longer to spouse number one, then you get divorced.
Okay.
After 10 years, you marry spouse number two, but then that ends in divorce as well at some point. Did you know that you could choose which
You could choose
spouse,
it the better?
Yes.
Wow.
You could go back to spouse number one. If your divorce benefit would be better because maybe he or she made more money, right?
Okay.
So it's kind of, again, there's so many things.
So many different rules. Okay.
So many. Okay. Number 3 was you can work and collect benefits at the same time.
Okay.
That is true.
Yep.
You can.
I feel a butt coming.
I'll leave that there. Yes, you can start those benefits and keep working, but you've got to work.
There it is.
There it is. You've got to watch out for the earnings test. Okay.
Yep.
The earnings test, because Social Security does not want you to make more than a certain amount of money if you're below your full retirement age. And this brings me to a story I don't think I've told this one yet before over the years. And so there is a pastor up in Somerville called me. I went up there. He was so mad. He was so mad when I came into his office, and he was like, Brandon, I just got off the phone, and you'll never guess what Social Security's telling me. They're telling me about this withholding now. They're withholding half my benefit. And I was like, you're, kind of getting some of my additional information. And so basically he turned 62.
Yeah.
But still pastoring at the church there, right?
Yep.
Still pastoring, making about $75,000 a year.
Okay.
And he started his Social Security benefit.
Okay.
He thought, hey, I want to start it early. I realize there's going to be a little reduction on my benefit there. That's fine. And so then now he's 63 and a half. And so it's now all like, he's getting all these letters, right? And then he calls him. He's like, what do you mean you're withholding one out of every $2 of my benefit? And they explained to him, yes, the earnings test only allows you to make up to a certain amount. And he was making like 3 times that amount. Okay.
Got it.
So for him, and the problem is too, they withhold this money.
Yeah.
And they notice I'm saying withhold. So they will give it back to you, but it's over time, and not till about age 80 will you have gotten back what they've withheld.
Jeez.
So the problem is, well, what if you don't live till 80?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
You just missed out on that money right there. And the second thing is that then stopped his benefit from growing. Okay.
Okay.
Because every year that you wait, right? Remember how it gets bigger and bigger and bigger each year?
But that's if you haven't filed your claim at all.
That's right.
So now they're withholding, and he's not getting any benefits of waiting.
Correct.
It's compounding the problems. Okay.
It was just a mess, right? Yeah. So it wasn't growing anymore. And he was like, what do I do? And I was like, you're not going to like the answer, right? I mean, which just implores, you listening, right? This Social Security benefit. In fact, the Social Security worker, they are not licensed to give financial advice.
Right.
Right. So if you'd be like, well, what do you think I should do?
They're going to, we don't know.
Number one, I would say, please do not ask that question to them, right? They're just there, and you could call back, and if you talk to somebody, I mean, you could get so many different answers.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So what I do for everybody when they come in, when we build these plans, when we build these income plans, they are custom built. Okay. Because think about it. Everybody's different. You're a different age. You've saved different levels for retirement.
Yep.
You've got different income streams and different pieces that I can move around and play with and design. But we've got to know, all these different potential ways to file for this benefit. Right.
Okay.
and make sure it works with your overall income plan. Okay.
Got it.
And
yep.
so, and I'm a big believer in starting this benefit as soon as it makes sense for people, right? Because it's a longevity gamble. And so think about your life expectancy, your parents, how long did they live? Your siblings. Do you have good health? Do you have good longevity in your family? If you do, then we might plan on, waiting a little bit. Okay. Because that break even point, whether you start it early at 62, maybe your full retirement age of 67, or maybe you wait all the way till 70, believe it or not, all of those converge right about around age 80, plus or minus. Okay. If you're a man or a woman, based on, the life expectancy tables. So we got to talk about that do we want to plan on longevity? Are you in good health and things like that? So, so that's what this planning process does. And so what we'll do is we'll take a look at our Social Security maximization software and look at the different ways that we can file based on, if you're married, divorced, single, whatever. We'll design what makes the most sense, and we can talk through it, right? We can talk through it. I want to get your opinion on things, and we'll talk through, okay, what do we think we should do there? But then how else can we bring it? Because if you want to wait on Social Security, then you've got to really draw down your own life savings.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
And let me also say, I do think if you're over 50 or 55, I think Social Security is going to, the rules are going to stay the same for you, but it is a broken system. And I think if you're under 50, you're probably going to be on a new filing strategy and different things to consider. But, for you, if you're on retirement's doorstep, let's put this plan together with the current rules that are out there and make sure that you have that income plan that you can start retirement with. So if this sounds like you and you are puzzled by Social Security, like everyone is, let me encourage you to head on over to bowenwealth.com, click on that contact tab, and we can begin this planning process with you as well right now.
We do also have links posted in the show notes, so you can just click there and that will direct you to our website, or again, visit us anytime at bowenwealth.com.
Thanks for listening to Charleston's Retirement Coach Podcast with Brandon Bowen. To learn more, visit bowenwealth.com and join Brandon for his radio show, Charleston's Retirement Coach, Saturdays at 11 a.m. on 94.3 WSC.
Financial professionals are not licensed in all 50 states. To find out if J. Brandon Bowen is licensed in your state, please call 843-203-2030. J. Brandon Bowen is an investment advisor representative of Bowen Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Exposure to ideas and financial vehicles discussed should not be considered investment advice or recommendation to buy or sell any financial vehicle. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. Investments can fluctuate and when redeemed may be worth more or less than when originally invested. J. Brandon Bowen is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the Social Security Administration or any other government agency and does not provide legal or tax advice. Annuity guarantees rely solely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance and annuity products offered through Bowen Wealth, LLC, insurance licensed in South Carolina. Market Guard is a registered investment advisor with the SEC and provides model portfolios only to Impact Partnership Wealth. Market Guard makes no implied warranties or representations and is not liable for any data presented.